Good afternoon. Many thanks for joining us and welcome to CoreTV News at noon with me, Emmanuel Ezekiel. President Goodluck Jonathan on Tuesday reviewed ongoing military operations in Northeast with the nation's security chiefs and other government officials. The chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Atahiru Jega, was also
the security
in
meeting, which lasted
at the Security Council meeting. Army Chief Lieutenant General Kenneth Minima said at the end of the meeting that the council was impressed with the performance of troops at the front lines. Pius Samuel reports.
The security meeting, which lasted for hours, was presided over by President Jonathan and also had the INEC chairman in attendance. Shortly after the meeting, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Kenneth Minima, says the council has renewed its confidence in the armed forces. It is, however, still worried that Boko Haram still controls 3 local governments in Borno State.
The Security Council reviewed the Northeast operations, particularly in the last 3-4 weeks, and the Council renewed its confidence in the Nigerian Armed Forces and commended the Armed Forces too. And of course, you know that Yobe and Adamawa states have been liberated completely, and we'll look forward to reinstatement of structures of government and of governance. And I'm also sure you know that in Borno State, out of the 27 local governments, we have 3 local governments remaining: Abadam, Kalabalge, and Goza. And we're optimistic that with time, we'll liberate those local governments.
The military has recorded major successes in the war against insurgency in the Northeast. And now the Army Chief says the rescue of the Chibok girls is still a major cause for the military to accomplish. When asked whether the military operation could end before the election, he maintained that the war in the Northeast is an ongoing one without a specific time frame.
It is our wish, and we pray God gives that to us. But war is war. War sometimes is not fought on some platform of permutations.
So do we have any news about the Chibok girls yet?
No news for now, because in all the liberated areas we have also made inquiries. But the truth is, when the terrorists are running away, they run also with their families. So, and those who have come in contact with have not made any comments suggestive that Chibok girls were there and we are taken away. So, but we are optimistic that as it becomes closer and the territory is becoming elusive to them, we will get further details on that.
He was, however, non-committal on whether the counter-terrorism operations will affect the conduct of the elections in the area. The Army Chief says only INEC can make a pronouncement after assessing the situation.
INEC is still there. INEC now has to reassess and evaluate because the areas have been liberated. But I can also tell you that not all structures of governance have been reinstated. And they will need to be reinstated so that citizens can go back to their areas, and it is then I think they can.
How soon can this
execute their rights as voters? How soon, I don't know. I am a soldier.
Not before March 28th?
I don't have an idea. I can't speak for that.
INEC chairman, who also attended the security meeting, was however not available for comment. Pius Samuel, CoreTV News, Abuja.
A federal high court sitting in Abuja has refused to grant government's request for a strict trial of the alleged mastermind of the Aya bus terminal bombing, Aminu Guche, and 5 others. At a resumed trial of suspects, prosecution counsel Mohammed Diri made an application for the witnesses that will testify against the suspects to appear in mask. But defense counsel Ahmed Raji objected, arguing that the accused person's rights to fair hearing will be curtailed if those to testify against them wear masks. In a short ruling, Justice Ahmed Mohammed held that witnesses to testify against the suspects will not be hooded. He further adjourned till April 2nd for the continuation of the trial.
The distinguished fellows, guests, ladies and
their witnesses
gentlemen, please join me in welcoming.
And that in giving their testimony, they should be allowed to wear some kind of a device, by maybe mask. And we don't mind excluding members of the public generally. but that preventing us from seeing their faces when the circle is already limited, the audience is already limited, and the judge agreed with us that wearing of mask will not be allowed. But the audience should be limited to the lawyers, the accused persons, and the witnesses.
With only a few days to the 2015 presidential election, the international community is keen on ensuring that the March 20th date remains sacrosanct. Speaking after a closed-door session with the presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, a special representative of the United Nations Secretary General, Jeffrey Feltman, disclosed that talks have been held with the two major political parties to this effect. He also said the visit further afforded an opportunity to share ideas on ways of tackling insurgency and terrorism in the country.
It's important now that the elections have been announced the 28th of March, that this date be respected, that voters be allowed to go out and express their views of the candidates peacefully on March 20th. It's a very strong message we have from New York.
The presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Muhammadu Buhari, has assured that Nigerian constitution will be upheld if he wins the election on March 28. He stated this at an interactive session with Nigerian Press Organization in Abuja, where he also vowed to ensure that freedom of the media is not compromised. On the issue of national government, the former military ruler, who described himself as a converted Democrat, maintained that it will be subjected to thorough discussion.
Former military ruler, and now a converted Democrat, who is ready to operate under democratic norms. I am not only subjecting myself to the rigors of democratic elections for the first time, but even after being elected, I will continue to promote the consolidation of democracy in our great country, Nigeria, by guaranteeing that the media's freedom is not compromised in any way.
The wife of the president, Patience Jonathan, has described the opposition party APC as lacking ideology. Speaking at a women rally in Ilorin, the First Lady canvassed votes for her husband as she enjoins women and the PDP to eschew violence ahead of the general elections. Rashid has more.
Barely 24 hours after the visit of Aisha Buhari, the wife of the president, Patience Jonathan, also brings campaign to Ilorin. Speaking with gathering of PDP women, she admonished them to eschew violence as the forthcoming election, in her words, is a sealed deal for the PDP.
PDP is not shaking because we are there. As far as we are there, there is no need for PDP to be troublesome. PDP is peace-loving people. So my children of Kwara women, I know that you are peaceful people and you are not abiding people. Keep it up, and keep it up. The women, we are not contesting election. No. It's the men, our husbands, that are contesting. Our own is to pray for them. Our own is to make sure they succeed. Our own is to make sure to guide them and protect them. Women, don't let yourself to be lured.
The First Lady took a swipe at the All Progressives Congress in what she describes as a party lacking ideology following its frequent change of names, saying the party may be heading towards embracing Ebola as a name.
Every day they change from one name to this spear drug to another name. Very soon Ebola will answer. When they fail finish, they will change to another name and answer Ebola. Now dead will come. Because I know that they will fail.
On their part, the governorship candidate of the PDP in Kwara State and other party stalwarts declared their expectation at the polls.
To show our appreciation to our father, And to this peaceful family is to do what? To vote our leader, President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. Any head of government, any head of state, any president before in Nigeria that has done what our leader, President Jonathan, has done to us in Kwara State. The only thing we can assure you is that inshallah, come March 28th, we shall, inshallah, compensate Dr. Jonathan with our votes.
And you can see with the number of women that have come out to receive you here today, be rest assured, come March 28th, from Mr. President up to our reps and senators, will be PDP all the way.
As campaigns intensify with the general polls a few days away, the effect of these campaigns would only be felt when Nigerians decide through their votes. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ilorin.
The Nigerian authorities say President Goodluck Jonathan will not apologize for issues that led to the diplomatic row with Morocco. This, according to Foreign Affairs Minister Aminu Wali, is because he did not play any role in the misinformation that emanated from his ministry. The minister, who spoke on the sidelines of the Security Council meeting in Abuja, says if anyone has to apologize, it's not him.
Some people are trying to make this whole thing political. And of course, in this business of ours of diplomacy, a lot of things do happen. So we're trying to find out. And I would like to say that the president has got nothing to do with it. This is something that has happened. It's a bit of mix-up somewhere along the line, and we are going to unravel it. But the president has got nothing to do with it. Therefore, people should not, like I had some senator from the opposition asking for the president to apologize to the country. Now, this is, if at all, if there's anybody going to apologize, it's the Minister of Foreign Affairs. And I, being the Minister of Foreign Affairs, will be the one to tender that apology, not Mr. President.
We'll go for a quick break. When we return, we'll bring you more stories. Stay with us.
Every day, every hour, and every minute, news break in Nigeria. Things happen so fast, it's most times difficult to track and comprehend them. But that's what we do right here on Digi 360. 2015, would you want to come back again?
It's like asking Jesus Christ if he knew he was going to die, will you want to come back as the savior of the world again?
We do not just help you track the stories, we break them down, explore all the angles, analyze the issues so that you can fully comprehend the stories and use them to make the right decisions.
Welcome back. You're still watching CoreTV News at noon. Well, you can reach us on our following social media platforms: Facebook, facebook.com/CoreTV News. And of course, our Twitter handle at CoreTV News NG. And Facebook, youtube.com/CoreTV, leave a space, and then news. Moving on now, former Speaker of the House of Representatives, Gali Umar Naaba, is now a member of the Board of Trustees of the All Progressives Congress. This was after he formally announced his defection to the opposition party within few days of opting out of the People's Democratic Party, PDP. Naaba was received into party APC by a high-profile team of party chieftains led by its national chairman, Chief John Odige Oyegun. Pius Samuel has more.
It's campaign season, but APC leaders are prepared to take a temporary break. This is because of what party chieftains are convinced is a big catch in the political cycle. A former Speaker of the House of Representatives has, within days of dumping PDP, opted for the opposition party.
I had always told our leaders that we cannot continue to rule this country on the basis of divisiveness. We can succeed in this country without maligning other parts of the country, because we have all it takes All the regions in this country have comparative advantages which we can build on and succeed.
He was well received by APC national leaders at a brief ceremony at the party's secretariat.
APC, to register, we have to generate 12 million members to populate 14 organs and 4 other organs. And as we speak now, we are heads above that 12 million.
2 years ago at a meeting of all parties, I had cause to warn this government that the Naira was going to exchange for 200 to 1 by the 31st of December 2014. Yes. 14 years ago, I had cause to warn that violence of a nature never seen in this country was going to occur in the north, forced by alienation, careless politics, and a declining economic fortune.
Naaba only left the ruling party a few days ago, but APC believes that he is big enough to go straight into its board of trustees. The party chairman spoke on the importance of having a personality of the caliber of the former speaker in the opposition.
Today, we are receiving a personality of indisputable quality into our ranks. A man of achievement, a man of principle, a man who has displayed in no uncertain terms that he shares the ideals of our party. For a long time, he struggled, he worked within the fold of the PDP to see if he can steer the ship back to safe waters. But of course, all that to no effect.
The party leaders were clearly basking in the euphoria of their new member and are looking forward to receiving more defectors from a party they say is in disarray.
The leadership of the National Human Rights Commission has been meeting with major political actors in Kaduna as part of measures to douse rising tension in the state. The Commission Chairman Chidi Odinkalo is at the head of the team that is in the state. A few days held separate meetings with Governor Murtala Yaro and his All Progressive counterpart Nasser El-Rufai. The Rights Commission team also held talks with the leadership of the Independent National Electoral Commission and the police.
That gave us a lot of cause for worry. Rivers State, Lagos State, and Kaduna State. Now, these states are also very strategic in Nigeria. If you look at this...
Those who experienced what happened in 2011, I don't think anybody is praying for it, where the whole of Kaduna would remain indoor for good 1 week.
None of our people have been engaged in attacking. No, since this campaign started, and we are very proud of that, and we continue to preach accordingly.
We are ready for peaceful election, and go and watch all my campaigns. I have been preaching peace. I have been asking for our people to remain calm.
With the general election fast approaching, the two major political parties in Osun State, the All Progressive Congress and the People's Democratic Party, have continued to trade blames over the increasing spate of political violence in the state. In this report, our correspondent Rashid monitors the political atmosphere in the state.
It was later that my people came in there to come and inform me that some thugs has been destroying my vehicle in my yard. That's they attacked 2 of my tenants and my those who are living in my shops.
Tales of woes from victims of the electoral violence. Despite agreeing to peace parks arranged by various stakeholders in Osun State to achieve violence before, during and after elections, pockets of violence still find their ways through the state. The latest occurred in Ilashe, Jesha, in Obokun local government area of the state. Although no life was lost, several people were however injured with property and campaign materials destroyed. The All Progressives Congress has fingered the PDP senatorial candidate in Osun East who hails from the town, Francis Fadahunsi, as being the brain behind the violence.
The views of people is that anywhere the PDP senatorial candidate goes, there must be gunshots before he leaves the place. From what I have seen, it appears the PDP candidate has penchant and appetite for violence and bloodlet, and we must put a stop to this.
And after we left, all our people, our members were attacked. There are some people that are still receiving treatment at Elisha Wesley now that sustained bullet injury.
Father Hunsi on his part denied the allegations but linked the violence to the APC, whom he accused of sponsoring violence in his hometown.
It was his people that were really shooting guns up and down to innocent people. I was not around. And for him now to be going around telling the whole world that they shot at him, they blocked him, it shows that a leader that tells lies is not their leader. If he doesn't have anything to campaign, he doesn't have anything to tell his people to vote for him, he should not unleash, he should not add sorrow to them again.
Both parties, however, said they have reported the violence to security agencies and are expecting them to make arrests and prosecute the troublemakers. While the parties continue to trade blames over who initiated the violence, schools in this community have been shut down, but normalcy is gradually returning to the quiet town of Ilashe, Jesha. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ilashe, Jesha.
The Independent National Electoral Commission in Ogun State has recorded an improvement in the distribution of permanent voter cards (PVCs) in the last 1 week. Resident Electoral Commissioner in the state, Lai Olurode, revealed this latest development to journalists at a press briefing at its state headquarters. He, however, says some people still will be disenfranchised. Olajumeke Olatunji has more on this report.
Since the No PVC, No Voting initiative by the electoral umpire INEC, the Commission has been on the major task of achieving 100% of PVC distribution across the country, even before the postponed election to March 28th and April 11th, respectively. As of last month, the Commission has recorded 80% distribution nationwide. Still, some states are insisting on a low turnout of PVC distribution in their state, and Ogun State is one with such challenge with a recorded 40% distribution. In a swift reaction and improved task of ensuring a higher percentage of this distribution, the National Commissioner representing Ogun, Oyo Anekiti, Lai Olurode, happily announced an improved distribution of 64% issuance and 59% distribution in 1 week.
And I think we do take along with us those cards that with the cards. We have challenges with the contract, we have challenges with the printing of the cards, and the chairman of the commission has said this a couple of times. But the greatest challenge that we have is with regards to people that want to transfer. That's why the context in which I said it's not going to be possible for every legitimately registered citizen of this country to get their card. We cannot have 100% distribution. Apart from the fact, in Ogun State alone, we've retrieved over 1,000 cards of people that have died. I'm going to wake them up from their graves to collect their cards. And what we did is to be proactive, because we do not want cards to fall into wrong hands. And don't forget, we insisted that cards must be given not by proxy. Everybody must be physically present before he or she can collect their card. And heroes have been under tremendous pressure to release cards to people that are, they said no, we're not going to do that. We want to make sure that there's sanity in the process of distribution. So the fact that we also have some technical, if people wanting to do transfer, we have not been able to complete the transfer of record of people that who are registered, but their cards we were not able to transfer their record to new places where they have.
Olurede further debunked rumors that most of the uncollected PVCs belong to non-indigenes of Ogun State and did not deny the fact that the Commission is faced with some challenges and that truthfully, not all cards will arrive before election.
I think there's a wrong perception in the country that voter education is solely the business of the commission. Of course, the constitution under section 158 tends to look at it from that, but other bodies that also take benefit from this electoral process, they are expected to come on board with us, including the media, traditional and religious leaders, civil society organizations, political parties that are in fact the main beneficiaries of the outcome of the election. They also should join us to canvass for people to show up to collect their card. But the figure of 589,377 is really huge in this election.
The commissioner also affirmed that it is totally ready for the general elections, which is just a few days away, following the tremendous improvement of the PVC distribution and the success of the test of the card reader. Olajumoke Olatunji, CoreTV News, Abeokuta.
And that's CoreTV News at noon. Do join us at the top of the hour for more reports. I am Emmanuel Ezekiel, and thanks for watching.